Hey, I want y'all to sit back. I'm going to tell you something. Okay? I used to have a friend named Ted Montoya. He said the one way you could tell a Mexican feller was trying to ingratiate himself to the people coming across the border and make them feel more at home. He tried to speak English, and sometimes his English wasn't quite understood. So he'd say, hey, come here, I want to tell you something. So I'm going to tell you something. We're going to talk about immigration again today. We're going to talk about it in a little bit different flavor than what I usually do and everything, but I think you're going to enjoy it. So with all this border talk, I'd like to suggest some things that are probably going to rub a few of my Patriot friends the wrong way, you know. But let's admit something here, okay? Let's get something on the table right now. Mexico is not going to go away, all right? It's not going to go away. Also, um, we don't need refugees coming across the border. Do y'all like that word? Not illegal immigrants, not undocumented workers, but refugees. Somebody fleeing something that they want to get away from, okay? People coming over that fence, let's admit it, Mexico's the pits. Mexico is the pits. And there's no reason for it. You know, this place isn't that far away. I mean, it's right next door. Now, I'm going to get a little racial here. All right, so all you race baiters in New York that like to have lawyers call me, you can go ahead and get your phone out now and punch that button that's on speed dial. Um, Columbus sailed from Spain. Yeah, I know. The Vikings came here before him, and the Mormons came here before that, and then the aliens are coming here all the time. I know. But Columbus was the first one to ever come here with a return ticket, okay? With a return ticket. The English got into the act after the Spaniards hit, and by the time Sir Walter Raleigh offered Elizabeth a cigarette, well, and it was on. Europeans dominated the exploration of the North American continent. It wasn't the Chinese sailing up the Mississippi. I know how they like to rewrite history and everything, but it wasn't the Chinese, it was the Spaniards that was doing that. And all the way from Toronto to Mexico City, the land was dotted with Europeans. While the English struggled toward the Ohio River, which was slow and creepy, the Spaniards blazed across the west and took everything from Texas to California and north. Okay? What was to become Mexico was not an ignorant, backward country. Ever wonder why Andrew Jackson didn't throw in with Sam Houston immediately and jump the Sabine River and fight against the Mexicans? That was because it wasn't written in stone who was going to come out on top of that little deal. Okay, Mexico was not an ignorant, backward country. Santa Anna drank his coffee from a fine china cup as he watched the smoke rise from the Alamo. That's a fact. So what happened? What happened? What happened to Mexico is happening to America right now. The Republic of Mexico had a fine government with a fair to middling constitution right up until General Antonio Lopez de Santana put it through a paper shredder and decided to do things his way. And friends and neighbors, it ain't been right ever since. Okay? Over the following century, a beautiful country with the same resources as the U.S., people of similar descent, and more gold than King Tut was reduced to a bunch of starving gardeners. And that's exactly where your president is leading you right now. Okay? I just thought I'd do it. We can't welcome illegals with open arms, but we can help so maybe they don't want to be illegals. We can do that, okay? Um, Nobody in his right mind wants to leave his home, family, and job and go somewhere where they don't know the language, have no connections, no money, and have to start fresh. So do the math now. And I know we can't take them to raise, but we did take Iraq to raise, now didn't we? You know, we poured trillions of dollars into a place full of people who wouldn't spit on our graves if they gave us one in the first place. Okay? It wasn't Mexican Catholics on the steps of the Capitol in Austin screaming Allah Akbar. Okay, it was Muslims who want to kill every grandchild you ever had so Islam can steal everything that these Europeans I've talked about have built. They want to take the Lampasas prom queen, put her in a burqa, take her out to the football stadium and bash her brains out for showing an ankle. Okay, and don't make any mistake about that. Don't try to dilute that. All right. I don't know how to solve this. I'm not a politician. I just know that we have to solve it. While we can't pull the fence down along the border, maybe we can make it where the fence isn't necessary. And the Mexicans are suspicious of us, and they got good reason. Paco can't drive across the border in Laredo and go to Walmart and buy some spark plugs. But Hilda can drive through from Canada anytime she wants. Okay? America is a Christian nation, but so is Mexico. Okay? I was married there. As Professor Balazar pronounced me and my wife Brenda, man and wife, every single person in that little village who came in from the fields to attend the fiesta crossed themselves and hugged us when the ceremony was over. That's right, I really did that. I told you to bring that dump truck. As long as we have a third world country butted up against a superpower, you will always have a border problem. The Nortes don't understand that. They don't understand Tex-Mex culture. But we have to because we live here. We live here. And war with Mexico is not an option. Mexico is struggling to increase its production up 500,000 barrels a day in oil, bringing in $52.5 billion a year. You didn't know that, did you? While those hook-nosed Arabs tool around in Learjets, Fernando can't even buy a new pickup. That's a fact. So why is Mexico so poor? It's poor because venture capitalism has been squashed by the controlling interests on both sides of the border. Why aren't Texas interests down there helping the Mexican people get the gasoline north of the border? Because we're too busy worried about some dope pusher who rode a Harley out of their most secure prison. Mexico, there's no reason it can't take its place beside the U.S. and Canada and stand with us against the Islamic tide bent on taking us all down. There's no reason Maria Sanchez cannot hop a bus and go shopping at Macy's without having to jump a fence and prostitute herself. Years ago, I wrote a book called Sharon. It was had a profound line in it. Had to do with introspection. The book was about a young preacher trying to apply meaning to his life. And he met a girl who took him down a path of self-examination. And the line was real simple. She told him, "The garden was always there. You would have seen it had you only looked." There's a garden on the side of that fence, folks. We just need to show our neighbors how to water it. And that's it for me today. Good day, and your comments are appreciated.